All right, we're back. I will say that thanks to our IT department for the impressive video there. It's also probably the most exciting that our webinar is going to be today, but we will share quite a bit of information still with you, and I think we'll help everybody hopefully stay safe. I hope everybody is staying safe with the coronavirus and social distancing and everything we need to be doing, and taking the time to join in with us today on the webinar. We have attendees from all aspects, including HOAs and business owners and commercial properties, potentially hotels, as well as personal residences. So we've kind of tailored that to talk a little bit about each of those, and hopefully provide some information today to help keep everybody safe. So and prepared. So a little bit about us. My name's Travis Borden. I've got extensive claims and construction related experience. Been with Venture for several years now, and I'm currently the director of all of our commercial accounts. We've also got with us Derek Shanton, who's our director of customer relations. Again, has got multiple experience in the construction and insurance industry. We won't bore you with too many details on us, but we'll tell you a little bit about Venture and what we do. So next slide, please. All right, so Derek and I are both with Venture Construction Group of Florida. We are a full service property restoration and general contractor. We serve the entire state of Florida and the Caribbean. We've got proven methods and infrastructure to limit business interruption, help control costs, maintain an OSHA safe working environment, and fully restore commercial properties to their pre-storm conditions. So that's kind of our experience in the industry. We specialize in all general contracting work, as well as restoration, and have extensive experience dealing with hurricane, tornado, and flood damage, and what needs to be done to prepare for that, and then also obviously how to restore it. So we're going to get into a little bit. We've broken our presentation down into a few sections. So I'll kind of briefly go through these, the 8 steps to prepare for a hurricane. The next slide will kind of break these down into what we'll talk about today. So first and foremost, we're going to break down determining your risks. After that, how to develop an evacuation plan, how to then create a disaster plan, assemble emergency supplies and create a checklist, knowing your insurance plan, and into that, a couple tips on how to prepare your property, how to help your residents or your tenants or your employees plan ahead, depending on what capacity you may be affected by, and then lastly, how to download local and national weather alerts. So we're going to break this down into the steps, and I do want to state that if you do have any questions, we'll save those to the end. There's a chat feature on the webinar where you can type in any of your questions, and then those will pop up to us, and we'll answer those at the end of the presentation. So thanks again. We'll move forward, and Derek will talk about determining your risks.
Thanks, Travis. So step 1 is factoring and determining your risks. Obviously, like Travis said, we're dealing with HOAs, condos, business owners, hotels, residences. So everyone is in different locations. Some people could be on the beach. Some people could be on the intercoastal. You could be by a lake. So there's a lot of different determinations in looking at your risk. While it's true some communities may be more affected by natural disasters than others, no association or business is exempt from the threat of type of disaster. Consider a possibility of disasters your association or business could be faced with. And naming the ones I just named, you got flooding. Obviously, we're in Florida, so we get a lot of hurricanes, as everyone knows. That's why we're here today, and tornadoes. Along with talking about HOAs and condos, associations vary in size. Some communities could be a half a dozen. Others could be 1,500 units. Travis and I have dealt with both of them in our experience, and obviously the risk factors depend on where you're located and how big your community is. Multi-story condos and commercial businesses along the coast, as well in large urban areas, are at high risk for fire, internal flooding, and evacuation. So again, the size of your property, where you're located, you have to determine your risks. Next slide, please. Associations have different amenities such as marinas, clubhouses, tennis courts, pools, retention ponds, that require special planning. Obviously, most associations, HOAs, have pools, so getting all your pool deck furniture, your umbrellas, all that stuff, having it tied down, having it stored away. Marinas, you have boats. You don't want boats flying around in a tornado and or hurricane. So that's obviously risk factors that need to be taken into account. Associations have different population characteristics also. Resorts tend to have a high concentration of absentee owners, thus making communication plan essential. Some associations have higher populations of retired and senior residents. Some associations near universities may have a large student population. So you look at the two different populations. You have the retired and senior, which you have to give a lot of time for them to be able to move and be mobile to get where they need to go. And then if you're dealing with college kids, which, we have a lot of universities here in Florida, obviously those kids don't listen. Being 19, 20, 21, we know what they like to do during times off. So we need to make sure we plan for those. Risk to bodily injury, personal property, structure, tenants, residents, employees, and yourself. This must be taken into account. Every homeowner association, resident, business have some exposure to disaster. Disaster plan has a potential and probability of saving lives, reducing suffering, and minimizing damage.